Tell us about your education. Where'd you go to college? Where'd you go after that?
I went to Penn in Philly, and they don't really have a film program, but if they did, I would have taken it. They had sort of like an English major where you would read a lot. So that's what my education was. And then after that, I went right to work.
Went right to work. So first job out of school you were starting to talk about?
Yeah, I worked for Robert De Niro's company in New York, which was a really lucky break for me as like a kid right out of school. But it was a long time ago. Now it's a lot harder to get jobs.
What'd you do for him?
I read. That was what I did. I was the story editor. So any scripts that would come through the office that they didn't want to read themselves, I would take a look at first and tell them if it was worth their time.
And you became pretty adept at it. You plowed through a lot of scripts. In your time, you probably read a lot of stuff.
I am literate. I can read. I read a lot, and yeah, it's just sort of like I enjoyed it. Like, I was getting paid to read. It was really great. And then I would write up a little synopsis and tell them what it was about, and they would not have to read it themselves, and they could pretend like they had. So reading what I wrote and passing.
Right.
It was great.
And through that, and someone at Tribeca once called you his secret weapon because you could go through so many scripts and summarize them.
That is true, but probably because he didn't know my name. Yeah.
Secret weapon.
That's what I think De Niro would do. He would call you nicknames, and you'd be like, "I'm so special," and then he'd probably tell the person right behind you the same exact nickname. I don't know, but that was what they called me, which was very, very cool. And I told my parents that story. So
Secret weapon.
that was good.